After pledge allegiance, please.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, call meeting in order. We'll make a motion that we approve our agenda.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion approved.
I've
Minutes,
read,
please.
I've read and I'll make a motion to approve the minutes for December 10th.
And I'll second that. Any discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. Meetings attended, please.
I'm not sure I had anything last week, believe it or not.
Okay.
Forgot it.
Federal Rust meeting, our monthly meeting, Bruce is out with shoulder surgery till the end of January, but everything was, we did our business and everything was normal. Anything else? That's it. We had, I had two or three. I had Southeastern Regional Planning. There's a lot of funding coming up, opportunities for housing. So we're looking at that. So whoever takes the board on that next, there's some opportunities coming up. So had a meeting, Quad Cities on the Port Authority. For example, Lee County just got $600,000 for the Port Authority. And so there's opportunities if we can get that on the Port Authority, something new. We got a long ways to go. We got to get organized, but I think there's an opportunity for the county to get quite a bit of funding coming in. And especially too in some of our areas where our poverty levels are pretty high as far as a lot of them. We can get those opportunities. So I think we just keep working on that, keep pushing forward for that. So there's one other one. I don't remember it. That's it. Okay, comments.
Susan, did you get that about the how much the insurance company spent on the Sam Wilson case? Did you find out what that figure was?
Yep, and I emailed that to you.
Do you remember what it was? I didn't see the email.
Well, I had Selena email it to you. It was, I want to say 40,000.
I don't know.
Something like that. I would have to pull the email back up. I had her email the information to you. So.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yep.
Anybody else?
I may have some comments on number 15 later.
Sure.
On the closed meeting. And then also, when are you guys gonna meet?
23rd.
On the 23rd?
Yeah, we're swearing everybody on the 23rd.
We're just trying to do the oath of office on the 23rd. That's about it.
Okay. And then the last thing, has there been anything, did I miss something? Has there been anything on the old jail?
No.
Is there any asbestos up there?
The reason we're on hold is because the solar panels are going in and that power and needs to be moved and switched. So it didn't make any sense to pay an electrician to do all that for fear that it's going to get changed anyway when the solar panels go on. So we're waiting for the solar guy to do his thing and get the right meter put on this building before we go and spend some money there.
Wasn't there something about the water too? Isn't there a combined water?
I think the water line runs in there. It's unhooked, but it does go to that building. So it'd have to be separated. The gas would have to be separated out.
I knew the gas. I wasn't sure about the water.
Yeah, the water sets right out there and shut off. I think it's going to be on that new property. So I think it needs to be.
So have the people that had originally indicated, you know, if they're still interested?
Don't know. I haven't called them a couple of months ago, but I did hear they bought a different property. So I don't know if they're still interested in that property or not.
I just.
Yeah.
Anything on the asbestos? Is it clear of asbestos?
I doubt it very highly.
I think it would probably be asbestos in it. It's built in that time. So.
No.
Okay, payroll changes. There's two of them.
Yeah, I saw.
They were,
Yeah.
nurses getting
Yep.
back to
We're
normal.
back to normal because we got the new new gal in place. Yeah.
You got 3 or 4.
Will that affect the other ones too that are in the office?
I think it's just the nurses.
I was thinking it was everybody.
And honestly, I thought that was supposed to take place the first of the year, not now, so I'm
Yeah.
not sure. We'll have to talk to Leah when she gets here.
Okay.
Maybe they're just trying to get the paperwork in so they don't forget. I don't know.
Monthly ambulance report, there's one of them. One of them.
Oh, I've already seen these. I've got my signatures all over. There you go. The only question on that was, one of the entities had work comp included, and, I think he was here and asked that question, one of the meetings,
Mhm.
and, I conferred with Adam Parsons, and he says that that is basically payroll related. It is not included at this time, so
Okay,
I made sure everybody knew that. So that was stricken from
because
the
all three
bill list.
tried to add that, right?
No, just one.
Put that on co-junctions also.
Mhm. They had it, but then if you look down lower, they handwrite it in with a negative.
Gotcha.
So
We can do 13 also. Go over there and check more planning.
this is the one, the morning sun one. You must have,
No, that's it.
oh yeah, you're right. I thought there was another one on there too.
Nope, she's coming in at 9.
Oh, okay. I'll make a motion to accept Wapello Morning Sun newspaper as our official newspaper for 2025.
We'll second that.
All in favor?
All right.
Motion passed. Suzie, you want to do the election cost?
Sure. So I think everybody should have a copy of this. For the general election, the cost, keep in mind, this is not employees included. This is just basic cost. You're looking at $19,073.33 to have the general election in Louisa County. But again, keep in mind that doesn't include the overtime and all the time for our employees to work. So for L&M, we're going to bill $2,726.53, and that is for their bond that they had on the ballot. And then Highland, we're gonna bill $339.27. Because they only have one location that they went to, so.
Was there a cost involved to recount that one vote from Miller Meeks? And
No, because that was overall county, and so that wouldn't have been anything on
Okay.
their bond and stuff. And there was no, that would have been employee cost only, because the people that were in there did not get paid that did the recount.
Okay.
So it just would have been me.
The balance is almost 2/3 of that cost.
Yeah. Yeah, because that did go up and stuff for the cost, that's normal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just a review. Anybody got any questions? It's not.
not much we can do about it.
Business.
Yeah, cost of doing business, yeah.
And who's gonna speak on that behalf of 16? Is that gonna be Adam when he comes
Yes.
in?
Yes.
Okay. Cindy, whenever you're ready.
I have the bills, if they're down there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good morning.
So mobile food pantry took place on December 11th for December to stay away from the holidays. It'll take place again January 22nd. The food pantry here in town, October, we served 39 households, 110 individuals. November, we served 29 households and 59 individuals. That handrail was put up. It looks very sturdy. It's, I don't know if you've driven by the food pantry or not, but it looks really nice. And we have received a few donations from Sigma down in Mount Pleasant that I've picked up and delivered to food pantries. Let's see, phone and foot traffic, October 55 phone, 22 foot November for phone was 58 and foot was 19. We currently have the Wish Tree program in process. People are delivering the gifts and we're having the clients come pick them up. And Army kettles are out in the community. We'll pick those up after the first of the year. And the food baskets will go out. We do Christmas food baskets for our local food pantry here. Those will go out this Thursday. We had 5 notice of decisions for October, and the reason I'm doing October and November is because I wasn't here last month.
Right.
So October, we had 3 that were denied and 2 that were approved. Denied for either failure to sign up for work or the bill wasn't in a person that lived in the household's name, things like that. And let's see, I don't know if you've heard about mental health. They did go ahead and put out the proposal or the bid. They accepted Iowa primary care. So our region did not get that. So as of July 1st, lots of big changes. So I think that's all we have for you.
So July 1st, Louisa County will get moved into that group of counties along the river.
Yes, that is already happening as of July 1st, but so our region with Ryan and everyone goes away.
Mhm.
So yeah. Big changes for a lot of people.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Jacob,
Yes,
how you doing?
good. Maintenance staff's been pretty busy in the fall here. I've been doing some trail edges at Chinkapin Bluffs and Virginia Grove. We're repairing a little fence line there between us and that Mabius property that we had bought 2 years ago, whatever it is. Part of the deal was to get a fence line between the two because half of the Mabius ground, we bought half of it and there wasn't a fence there. So we're putting that in soon. He also did some trail edging somewhere else, Eden Park. We have some big plans to do a disc golf course out there as well. I think that'd be a pretty good pull for the surrounding communities out there. Really neat course. We went out, there's a company out of Missouri, I'm not sure what town, but it's northern Missouri. And so they approached us a while ago because I think somebody reached out to them like from the community is what I gather. But they're gonna have a disc golf there that starts there at the driveway area and it's going to go into the timber actually and then do 2 or 3 hills or 2 or 3 holes inside it, up the hill and then into the prairie for a little while and then back to the playground again. Should be really nice. We're going to try to burn it this year to get a good representative prairie because right now it's a little bit, I don't know, not shabby, that's not the right word. There's a lot of cool season grasses in it and I think a lot of people around here like orange season grasses and forbs. So going to get reinvigorated, both that and the timber to try to just make it gorgeous. We're on our final review of the Wilson Prairie signs. We have a grant came through for another company that would like to put in prairie education signage. And so there at Wilson, we have 9 2x3 signs. They're quite large. They're a 10-year warranty kind of signs. So they're going to stay around a while. All aluminum bases. But we're in the final approval of those. They look really, really good. I have been working myself on budgeting. This is my first true round of budget season, so just jumping in head deep and seeing where we come out. Doing fine there, but quite busy in that regard. We got the lights fixed at Chinkopin. If you guys remember, we had some vandalism happening, but got them ordered and fixed. The girls are in and out of the schools are naturalists. Their schedule looks like 500 little blocks every classroom they're going into. It's awesome if they keep it all straight. But we had a cooperative countywide burn at the office complex last Tuesday, I believe it was. The day was really cold. It was a really good, successful burn. It was near the new site for the shooting range. They just wanted to see all that brush get burned out of there, so they didn't have to mow it or anything. So the sheriff's was in on it. We were in on it. We had Tracy Lott help. It was a great cooperative burn. Everyone, I think, had a really good time with it, and we accomplished the goals of removing biomass. So
Good.
Great success on that end. Office complex, we're gonna look at replacing a door on the outside, or not we are, but I'm gonna get with at least maybe Sean, I think you're our building guy. There's an inside door on an outside of the building. And so I just want to bring it up here so that way it's official that I've talked about it. But I called Tracy and he thought that if we were going to do that door, we might as well do the 2 doors in the cafeteria as well, because I don't think they lock, or they only lock, something like that. And so this project might be it might get a little bigger as it continues, and we can have that conversation later. But yep, just figured I should let you know that we're having some door issues. I've got directive from Adam Parsons to open up our board member applications for January. So nothing will happen this year. The vacant position that is open now would have ended this December. So I'm going to open it up, and nobody's going to be able to be in that position until it expires in January. So then we'll fill it then. I believe the meeting that you guys, after the first of the year, or I guess not you guys, but Sean, at least the first of the year, you'll vote on that. And I think that's it. Oh, I have another question, but yeah, go on, Brad.
And then Wilson Prairie, was that paid by the new solar company?
Yeah, yep, not the one, I don't believe it's in the office complex, but I don't know how official it is, but I think there's a proposed solar array kind of on the island there.
But they did buy all the signage for that Wilson Prairie, didn't they?
Yeah, oh yeah, yep, and the frames and delivery. And they also bought us the new tables at Chinkopin Bluffs. That happened a long time ago, but
Right.
yeah, we're really fortunate.
I just want to make sure they got the word out that, they donated.
Yep, it was Orion Renewable,
Right.
Orion
Resources.
Renewables, yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
You was gonna say something else too.
Yeah, I had a question on that last line item about the land that the conservation recommended selling. When they pay for that, where's that money gonna go?
We're gonna send you the check,
Send us the check? It's good with me.
and then you pick where it gets deposited to.
Yep, just figured we should iron that out. That's all for me. You guys have any questions?
We'll probably do a complex meeting with all the department heads the first of the year. So that'd be the time to talk about the doors.
Yep.
I do have a bill here from Northwest Mechanical for the complex for $7,100. That's why I asked to look at this. It just says Premier Preventative Maintenance Contract. I would like to see Northwest put something on what they're doing.
Okay.
Instead of just billing the $7,100. I'd like to say, hey, we checked the boiler, we checked, something. If we can get some kind of a checklist, because I'm going to report that back to those department heads that, hey, they were here and this is what they checked. So if they complain that, something's not working, I said, well, they said they looked at it. So.
Yeah, and just housekeeping. We're going through some of our bills, and there was a little bit of redundancy in a couple of them, and so we're straightening those out. And overall, I think not consolidating is necessarily the right term, but if there is consolidation available, Wi-Fi was the big one that we considered, that we could all get on the same Wi-Fi instead of like we were paying it and somebody else paying anything. Most got the same Wi-Fi.
Yeah,
Yeah.
makes sense.
Save the county some money.
Yeah. We don't have fiber out there, do
Yes,
we? We do?
I thought
So then, yeah, that should be fast enough to do.
and we got
Pretty much
fiber
what
in all
everybody
our buildings
wants.
now, so.
Anyway, that's pipeline stuff. So.
Yeah, good.
And it might have been set up originally when we was on, the original internet. Because I think we did Wi-Fi the whole building in there, so
Yeah.
you're right, that's something probably can go away.
Yeah, well, I think everybody still needs actual Wi-Fi.
Yeah, but I mean the individual charges.
Yes, yeah, I think I've been working with RNS and Lysacom and yeah, but it's great. It's coming around. I think
Oh, yeah.
Makes
I think it's just necessary. It's a building block for us. So.
Anything else?
I don't believe so.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm good.
Morning, Adam.
Morning.
Good, how you doing?
Good, good. It's been a very busy week for me, so. This week we've had a busy week, out plowing and spreading, did Wednesday, Thursday, a couple rounds on Saturday and a little bit again yesterday, so we've been doing okay. We were a little short-handed on Saturday, so we used our temp and that worked out fine, so. We're glad to have that extra capacity. Thanks for your information. No problem. So, that's going good. We are in the process of restocking our sand and salt. In the past, we had bought, salt, a treated salt from Mershman's down in Burlington. They sold out a business to this Skyline Salt Solutions out of Dubuque. So we contacted them and arranged pickup for material up in Cedar Rapids. Found out it was a little cheaper to have a local guy pick it up. So anyway, tomorrow Ryan hired a KMS to go up and get it, bring it down and mix it up, and we'll be ready for the next round. So
How many loads is that?
be 400 tons is what we're gonna buy, so haul 25 a ton, so what was that for 16 trips or so we'll get it in Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and get it in the shed mixed up and all that. Typically in the winter, we plan for 1,000 to 1,200 tons of salt. Take that times 3 for the sand, right? So we mix that up and all that. So that's what we usually go for. We usually budget for $140,000 worth of salt. Last couple of years, it's been down about the 80 range, which is good. That's that. Got a notification from a letter from River Products that again the rock's going up another 6%. It's actually Nelson, who we buy the stockpile from. Used to be 75 cents more a ton. It is actually now cheaper than River Products. So that's something to keep an eye on in the future. We bought 10,000 tons from Nelson, and it's on the ground there, waiting for us in the spring. River Products hasn't had that option. They don't want to sell a stockpile because of space or whatever. So, things to look at and think about in the future, I guess. That 90 cents a ton works out to be about $63,000 more a year for the same amount of rock as last year. Again, it just never ends. So, other than that, been meeting with some contractors, so looking at getting some spray foam insulation up at the Columbus shop. I've been up there, but as the wind blows, the cobwebs will go back and forth. And we spend like 9 to 10 grand a year heating that place, so we're looking at some options there. Other than that, we're working on design and bridges and figuring out budget priorities and things like that. So Other than that, I don't know a lot else, so.
92's open finally.
Yep, it is open, and then they had to plow it the same day it was open, which meant we had to plow X17 and G36 again, but you know, is what it is there, so.
A little ice storm, but it looks like we made it through okay. I didn't hear too many complaints.
You know,
Had a little tree down that you guys took care of.
yeah,
Got the message to you, so.
yeah, so. Anything else going on?
Up to good work.
All right, guys, thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Amy. Okay. Brandon, is anybody else coming in?
Nope, just regular.
Okay, let's go and do it. I just don't want to do it if we got other people coming in. Go ahead.
So the 2080 is just a continuation for services at L&M. It would be for another 4 years, beginning in July of next year. What we found through call reports and Greg is that he spent a little bit more time than 75% up there. So last night, their board agreed to reimburse us 80% instead of 75 of what his wages are, and other items in the budget, in his budget line as well. So this will be to continue through 29, and at that time, Greg wants to remain in the school, and at that time, he is going to, or plans to, retire since he's not a young man anymore.
Not that old.
He's not young. But the school board did pass it last night. One thing that it does include as well is a squad, 75% in 2026. When we started out on that one, we had a brand new squad that Greg had, so we just used it and had a spare. You know, we don't have spares anymore really,
Right.
and the budget's tight, so that is included in the new contract that they just signed last night. Any questions that you guys have?
It's a 1-year contract.
4-year.
4 years, I'm sorry. You said that, I didn't.
Yep. And it does increase in increments each year to a max dollar amount that they can pay.
Well, after yesterday, it's very important that we continue to support this. You know,
It's a great thing that all 3 high schools and schools have.
I've heard a lot of good things about Greg
Absolutely.
at that school, and I've also heard a lot of good things about the other ones as well.
He's
Oh,
absolutely loved it.
It's a good deal.
Oh,
It is.
Yeah.
Great job.
I'll try.
Yeah, great job.
It makes a difference. So do we need to,
Yep, we have to do
Make
a
a
motion
motion.
on that. It's 2080.
I'll make a motion to approve the 2080 agreement with Louisa Muscatine Community School District for the school resource officer.
And I'll second that.
Okay, discussion. It's for a 4-year with a cost of living, basically.
Yeah.
There's
As close as I can guess.
there's a squad built into it next year.
75 and 2026. Yep.
Sounds good. Any more discussion, guys? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
And you have the 2080.
I have the original one right here that they signed.
Yep, and then I need it for our office, and I can give you a copy.
That'd be perfect.
Good job. Thank you. Gonna sign every copy of that.
Yeah. That's a list of their,
Thank you, guys.
Okay, thank you.
see you, Brandon.
See you later.
Tammy, how you doing today?
Pretty good, how
List
are
of
you
their
finding?
circulation.
Good. Well, we just, this is a yearly thing. You got anything to say on behalf of that? or-
No, we're just proud to serve Louisa County and hope that you
Probably
choose
have
our paper for an official paper again for 2025.
On that note,
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we adopt Columbus Gazette as one of our official papers for 2025.
any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Thanks, Tammy.
Thank you.
Can I ask a favor?
Yes, ma'am.
When we, send like election stuff.
Okay.
So we have,
For a few days.
It's like the, font and stuff, sometimes it has to be a certain font, and we had to republish on one.
Okay, we're waiting on that.
We can finish the
Yep,
claims.
Yep, we'll get through the claims.
Yeah, it's on my last page.
Yeah, I had a question on the Board of Health.
Yeah.
We have a appraiser consultant.
Yeah, I don't know. Is Leah supposed to be here today?
No.
I don't know what that is.
And that, I've never seen that before.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I don't know if that's something that the state makes them do or what. On the paperwork. Cincinnati, Ohio. CMS cost report.
Oh, that's the cost advisory report. That's mandatory.
They must have broke that down. different than normally do.
Medicare cost reports.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
This is a shop with a nice big book first, just.
Mhm. Hey, Jim, the number was 262-231-45. Mhm.
Looking for a motion for claims.
Mhm.
Make a motion to approve the claims for December 17th.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? Not all in favor?
Aye.
Yeah.
You have an amount for that, Sean?
Just give it.
Oh, I didn't, you didn't say that's what it was for.
$262,231.45.
Thank you.
Yeah, if you can. I bet he's got court.
There's nobody in this county that does bad things.
No, they had to be out of the county.
Louisa, this is in the Board of Supervisors. I was wondering, is Adam still in court or is he available soon? Yeah, if he can come down, we're actually done for everything besides what his stuff is. All right, thank you. Bye.
Thank you. For the new supervisors, there's, cleaned up the desk last week. There's a bunch of books up here that I think would be valuable. It's, the 2030 plan, a budget. We got a lot of solar ordinances. I kept everything that I thought would be good. There's stuff in the file cabinet that's, got some information if you ever go back and look at it. I kept that stuff in there, so. About it. Oh, and some business cards with DOT and stuff like that. So. Thank you.
Brad, you that's paid the 23rd,
23rd.
and then what about the week after that?
The next meeting will be January 2nd or 2nd.
Oh, okay, okay.
There will be one the 29th, or I mean, what's the 30th?
First.
No, because we're holding it January.
So we'll have
2nd.
5 supervisors after you swear them in next week.
Not till, we're swearing them in for the January. No, there's no 5 supervisors.
You swear them in early, but they don't take office until
Okay,
January.
you can do that legally.
You have to do it legally, yeah.
Let's hope.
Because if they're not sworn in, but if bad weather happens
We
on
do
January
things illegal
2nd.
all the time, Randy. I mean, it's,
I know everything you do is legal, Brad. You swore in court you did.
I know it. That's
And then you
it.
got challenged.
No, I didn't.
Because if something would happen on January 2nd and they didn't get sworn in, then basically it would be
Very
null
good,
and
good
void,
lawyer.
I
so we have to do it early.
Yeah.
Do you learn anything after you stay? Didn't see last week, we were still. Okay. Get you sworn in, Scott, so they can start swearing at you.
Okay.
You can't loan taxpayer dollars either, I don't know if you knew that or not. You can't loan that money, so.
Sure, legal fees. I don't care.
Huh?
I said it could be your legal fees. Just keep talking. What was that? 16 brought up here anyway.
But because Tammy was saying that usually the people pay for it and Adam was saying usually the county pays for it. So it just kind of,
Well,
Margie was paying the $17. So she, I said, but Adam was like, well, let's take it to the board because it's the board's decision.
okay.
That was just between.
Past
us.
practice, though, they pay for it.
Adam says no. And Tammy says yes. Usually when it's a document's recorded for a sale of a property, the buyer does pay for it. That's what Tammy was saying. So,
Yeah, there's been,
Yeah.
yeah. Before I had them,
All the way up to 61. Oh, no.
why would that be different?
You'll have a reason.
Back to higher.
yeah.
Listen to it.
Because I don't care. Either way.
Oh, so that was part of that.
But have she said that to the people that
It's kind of weird. I knew Lieutenant Governor's swore in yesterday. She's from McLaren. Senator up in the Scott County area.
Yeah, I see that.
She owns a
every day.
IT business in McLaren. I never met her before. I've seen her before, but I've never met her. Good morning.
Right.
Thanks for coming over. Yep. Adam, before we start, can we do the discussion about regarding recording fees for parcels sold by Louisa County?
Yeah, so in the past, when we've sold pieces of the Hoover Nature Trail or other properties, the county supervisors had instructed me to record those so that there's no recording fee to the end buyer. I did not ask you specifically on this last batch if that was the practice you want me to follow or not, so I figured I'd better clarify that before pulling the recorder.
In what cases did we do that last time?
Would have been, no, one of them was Wax Bluff, I think. It was a batch of about the same number. I don't remember all the buyers.
Yeah, I do remember that now. And we did that whole area of that trail. We took care of the recording fees, so.
Yes, yeah, and we had another times in the past as well.
Okay,
And so there's no fee in the code for the county to record documents.
gotcha.
So it's not like the county's paying it, it's just charge the fee or don't charge the fee.
Right.
And I don't care either way, that's just the practice that I had been following because I thought that was your direction and I wanted to get clarification on this one.
Okay, gentlemen, you heard the argument.
Stay the way we've always consistent, like we've always done it.
What are the fees? What do you think the fees total will be
$17
per parcel?
per
yeah.
parcel. Yeah.
That's fair.
Is that a second?
Yeah, second.
Any more discussion? All in favor?
Right.
Motion passed. So we'll take the fees. Yep.
Okay, I'll get those recorded there, I'll let the recorder know, she has the documents.
I actually have one.
Well, you have.
Okay, this is on the regarding the Pocahontas Suits nomination. Adam?
Yeah, so we had already discussed this and you decided not to move forward with anything on behalf of the county. It was, the background was that there was a condemnation, had been previously one filed, there's a new condemnation filed seeking land more to the east next to the old easement. It was condemned maybe like a year ago, I want to say. This one did not name the county as a party, but it does go across one old FEMA buyout lot that the county still has title to. And the board had previously decided not to do anything. The change is the condemnation application was amended to include the county as a named party. So normally, when the county gets sued or is named as a party in an action, I would just automatically take action and file an answer. This is a little bit different because of condemnation. There's not the same court procedure. It's handled by the condemnation board, and then if you want to appeal, it goes to district court. So I guess I'm looking for direction again of what to do now that the county's been named as a party. Do we just want to stand pat and not respond, or do we want to respond? Do you all want to make that decision? Do you want to table it until after the first of the year for the new board? Looking for direction on that. There is a condemnation hearing on the 13th of January, so you kind of need to move fast, at least before that date.
So the lot that we're talking about, is that lot number 7? Is that the one that?
I think so. I don't have it with me, but yeah, it's yeah, I think it's lot.
But how? There's another little triangular
It's
piece.
the only lot that they.
What lot did you say?
7.
6.
6 it is.
6 is the one the county owns.
So
I don't-
who has 7 and 8? Bill, do you know?
It's 6 to me, but you could be right. I'm pretty sure it's 6.
I think Mr. Timmerman owns the other lots.
So if we do 6, then how does that get them past 7 and 8 into their property?
The condemnation proposal runs across all those properties, so it just catches that one lot of the county in addition to a long line of other
I
properties.
see. This is what I'm looking at.
Oh, I got it too. This is in blue. So it's got lot 6.
Oh, I was looking over here.
These are lots owned by the county too, but this is the one
Okay.
we're traveling. This is a whole
So you're
different
talking
story.
about this one over here.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, it'd be
You
just
this or-
40 feet off the section line.
So just to back up a little bit, because I read this sitting here while we were kind of waiting. It looks like, from what I read, you guys offered some money
Okay, and you're here for.
to them for access, for lack of a better word, $1,300 and another $3,100 to the Timmermans to move their stuff, I guess, so you could have access. Is that right? And then you did an offer, but then I would assume that they declined.
I believe,
These
I'm
guys,
not
they're
sure
in
what
the
you're
headlights, look
asking.
here.
I believe that's correct.
Okay. So they declined that.
That's my understanding.
Okay. And so now we're coming back to the county and asking to go over that particular lot.
Yeah, the condemnation board will have to decide whether to grant the condemnation across that lot for an easement, including all the other land as well.
What problem does the county have letting them go over a lot that we don't care about? I guess I'm directing that to the other supervisors.
Well, I don't know if it's, again, so, yeah, he's gonna be out of it, so that's why I think it ought to go to the next board, because we do have a supervisor directly involved in it.
That's fine, but you guys have been here so long, I'm asking that.
Well, this is a FEMA partial, the way I understand it, so what rights do we have to assess this? What he said before, we really don't have the right to take it out of the county or give it to anybody. Am I saying that wrong, Adam?
No, it's very restricted because of the deed restriction. There's a limited number of things the county can do with it. There's a very limited number of entities that the county can transfer it to.
Yeah, and we can't just sign it off and everything's perfect. Is that correct?
As far as.
Given total rights away?
Yes, that's correct.
You can.
But you can't give easements.
Well, it's a gray area because depends what they're gonna do on that piece of partial land.
Yeah, if they were gonna build a paved
Piece
road.
of partial land that the county owns.
By FEMA, we're actually just maintaining it. Nobody really owns it because it's out in La La Land. We're just responsible for taking care of it. But you can't put concrete on it, correct?
Yeah, the county owns it, but there's a FEMA deed restriction on it. so
We're
we
not
don't
changing
have-
anything that's there now, we're driving across. it.
I'm good with it.
I'm just explaining so there's no misunderstanding. There is lots back there that is being used for private use at the county, and they're landlocked too.
Least
That's a different
amount.
story, that doesn't involve me.
Yeah.
We'll get to that someday later
And
on.
that's why I think it ought to go to the next board, myself, since we have a supervisor that's involved in this, and I think it would be better to hear it and ask more questions about the FEMA lot. Am I going the right direction on that, Adam?
No, I think so, and I think your explanation was correct, understanding that if it's just a dirt path, it doesn't really affect a FEMA deed restriction. If it's a paved road, I understand you guys are a whole paved road out there, but if it was a paved road, that would be a violation of the deed restriction.
It's even questionable on gravel.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's unclear whether that's an improvement or not. It just has to be unimproved.
So I don't, as far as, I don't like leaving decisions made for the next one, but with this one here, with my determination of what we're gonna do with it, could put the next board in jeopardy for a decision, and I'd rather have them weigh it out and look at it. Instead of making a decision with a board that's leaving and have this board, I know you have to have it done the first year, but at least their decision, they're gonna have to live with for 4 years. Mine, I just got a week left, and I wanna make a decision to put anybody in jeopardy on a decision.
I can put it on the January 2nd meeting.
Sounds good.
That's fine. I'm not quite, I'm still trying to wrap my head around it because I'm gonna be here.
Yep.
So when you get to lot 6, where's the road going once you hit lot 6? To the
Straight.
left?
That shows you on that figure.
The whole
It
thing.
kind of stair steps on a new one as far as that goes. I do have a copy of that if you'd like to see it.
Oh, I see. Okay,
I
so
would like to. go ahead.
one of Timmerman's upsetting points, I guess, was driving across his
I can't
septic
tell you
field.
that because
So
he crosses Ball's land when he first comes in. I can't tell you what Timmerman's problem is. I do know what the county attorney has talked to me when I was first started 45 years ago about some of the problems back there, but that's not,
but I see it going across his septic drain field, so.
that's taken care of. Actually,
Okay,
it's paid
that was
for.
my question.
It's been paid for by the first
Okay,
settlement and all that. And then, it's outdated sewer and all this. It's probably illegal sewer. You can't dump into an open ditch anymore, blah, blah, blah. What he wanted was somebody to pay for new
I
sewer.
understand. I get it.
I did, we all do the same. The one thing I do want to point out is in 2011, that lot was brought from Timmerman through FEMA, through this, and the county supervisors signed off on it. They brought a lot that was landlocked. I'm not sure if you can even do that, to tell you the truth, but if the county would make an easement up to that lot, because they gotta get to the lot anyhow. I think that's a law, they gotta be able to get to the lot. We're fighting a battle that you guys should be fighting anyhow. Once we're past lot 6, we got an easement. Right now, it's between Spring Street and lot 6 that we're having trouble with. And if the county, all we're doing is driving along the grass, it's there anyhow. They've been doing it for 80 years to 100 years. That's always been there. Same path we're using now. I just don't know how the county supervisors brought a landlocked lot to begin with, and there's other ones in there involved, but like I said, I'm talking about 6 so we don't get confused. Now on this, who bought it from Ball, I realize the supervisor's somebody's gotta sign the papers. Chris Ball signed this title. I'm not sure what's going on here. Again, this is where bad reputations get. But, so anyway, I'm asking her to look at that. Why don't we have an easement to that lot? You guys gotta get to it. You gotta get to other lots. Look at that when you're looking at it. The new board, and I'm not saying you're wrong.
Yeah.
We're here now, so we're gonna try to figure it out.
Uh,
We're here now.
Yes.
I can't go back. I
Yeah,
can only go forward.
Absolutely, but you don't cover up your mistakes, you don't go on and fight your mistakes, you fix your mistakes. And that's all we're asking, it all started with the county selling right away.
Mhm.
So, and it just keeps snowballing until more and more and more. And it ain't cheaper. So,
Any other questions on that, Sean?
John.
John?
Could I say something?
Yeah, you bet.
Let me looking at it from my perspective, can you tell me what power you have? Who has the power to say, these people are landlocked? We, the supervisors, not you three, your predecessors, we, the supervisors, created this problem when they sold that right of way across which we had been driving for many years with no complaints. We don't cut anything up. We don't put any ruts in there or nothing. I mean, there's no sense in going back there if it's wet. You know, we're doing nothing to get back there that would cause any kind of commotion. And yet, when it was sold 30 years ago or whatever it was, we were, not that long, we were landlocked. We can't get back there.
2011, I think it
And
was.
people say that that's illegal. And, if I'm trying to explain this to somebody, which I have numerous times, and I can't get to the second sentence until they say, supervisors can't do that. It's illegal to landlock somebody. They said, well, show me how we get back there. Because, I don't like to argue. I don't have a lot of opposition, I think, on things that I want to do. I try and resolve all that. We're into this for 5 years already now. 5 years, and now you're talking about kicking the can down the
The
road again.
next 2 weeks.
Yeah, but then we got to train all these people again now.
Well, they're right here.
And then,
They're here today.
yeah, but they don't know the background on this. I mean, I've spent $30,000 already on trying to get to property that isn't worth much more than that.
John, I've been here since 2016 and I still don't know all the background
Yeah.
on it, so.
But let me just say one thing. If you don't remember anything else I said on this, the original easement that we got was 40 feet off the section line. We found out after this was all done that a ditch was in the middle of that we had to clear if we want to get out of there somehow. That created another whole lot of problems and did a bunch of delay on it too. But so then we decided that the reason we included that ditch was nobody got down there and looked at it because Timmerman would let us. So now what we find is we've got an easement through a ditch it's no value to us whatsoever. It's just expense and it won't have. All we really want would be to move that 40-foot easement off of the section line and skip 40 feet and have a new 40 feet over there, which would run straight from the end of Spring Street to our property and we'd be done with it. All we want is a 40-foot section, one 40-foot distance from the section line to get to the other end. We won't cut ruts up in it. We won't do anything to it that hurts it. It'll probably be in better shape when we get it because we'll keep the grass down a little bit, at least where those tracks are.
Now, going back on that, wasn't there a bridge that was lost due to floodwaters? Is what caused this whole thing to start?
There was a railroad bridge there. I don't know much about it though.
nobody.
But that was your access and then it washed out, was it at one time?
There was never no access from
No.
that.
Okay.
That's my understanding, having investigated it 4 or 5 years ago, that was the access, yes.
Yeah.
See, like I said, I've heard so many different parts of this
Yeah.
and I knew there was a bridge that got washed out and this created a lot of more havoc and.
Yeah, so you're right on that. There was talking about a Missouri crossing. They say, I think that's what may have been the reason for saying that we weren't landlocked, but the Missouri crossing across there is really a foolish idea. And there is nobody that would take a $500,000 combine down in that to get across to the other side unless he got more money and knows what to do with, because you're gonna have to buy a new combine. You cannot get it out of there. You'd be stuck in there. So that idea needs to go away right off the bat if we want to use any common sense in this at all. And all we want to do is to get a path back there that just goes straight through there. And I'd almost guarantee you, if in 2 years after we got the right of way back there, that would look better than what it does now.
Yeah. I don't think we're arguing the part that not giving you the land, but I think we're just so close to the change of 2 supervisors leaving.
Yeah, but
But
I don't see that.
I don't want to get into where you go back and say, well, 2024, the supervisors were leaving and made a decision that they shouldn't have made. They should have let the next board do it. And I think that's the smartest thing to do, is let the board that's going to be in here running this county for the next 4 years make that decision. And
No, it's
with
just-
Chris being involved in it, I just don't think it's a healthy thing for us to get involved in this with this board right now.
I'm not, and I agree with you, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But I don't know what the decision is.
We're gonna wait
Public
till
place.
January 2nd.
Second, yeah.
For this,
Well,
to come in front of the new board.
That's on a Thursday, correct?
Yes,
So next week's Monday, and the following one's on a
Yes.
Thursday, and,
yes.
oh boy. All right, I get it.
Yeah.
The new board isn't a bad idea,
No.
because
You gotta live with your decisions, so,
it's gonna probably last past that anyhow, but again,
yeah.
is not all FEMA ground public?
Well, it's public in a way that they can go on it, they can, run, farm animals and stuff on it, but you cannot build or put anything on there to increase the value. Is that the way it's written?
Yeah, it can't be improved in any way.
I guess what you see, what you get, I mean, I don't, it needs
It's not a
to
good
drive
deal.
across, I'm not
Yeah.
sure what.
And then, Adam would have to make up a thing whenever this comes up to, that you cannot do any gravel or, right, correct? And it has to be in writing, that way. I don't see this being a problem, but I just don't want to make this decision with the board. It's about, so.
And that deed restriction would carry through to an easement.
Okay.
But then there'd just be two layers of people responsible for enforcing that easement, it'd be us and the people owning the easement, or having access to the easement.
And does the new supervisors have any questions with Adam right now? Because a lot of you have heard this talk, and I want to make sure that we give you all the information that I knew, but,
So is it legal to even do an easement on the FEMA ground then? It is, or?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I've never heard of it before. I don't know if you can condemn across county land or not, but if we don't object, the foundation board will probably do it. I don't think we're gonna stop on our own. But that would be something that I would need to respond to if we're going to.
So the board, the condemnation board has to approve it first then?
Correct.
When do they not meet until we make a decision, or?
No, they'll meet January 13th regardless of what the county decides. That's the deadline. That's why, it's because they're meeting.
The decision you're tabling is just to, how you're gonna respond.
Yeah, if I'm gonna respond, normally when the county sued, I just automatically file an answer. I don't need to talk to anybody. But because we had talked about this before, and the supervisor, and we weren't named as a party, and the supervisors had said, just let it go. I didn't do anything, but now that filing has been amended to add us as a party. So now I feel like we ought to make a decision again.
you guys good? Yeah. Okay. Unless there's any more discussion on it, we'll table this. I have a motion to table to January 2nd, if we could, please.
So moved.
I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And Chris is. Okay, thank you all. Is there any other business come forth today?
Motion to. When you swear in next week,
Yep.
correct?
On
That's at the beginning of the meeting, and they take over the rest of the meeting?
No,
They don't
you
take
do the
over
whole
until
meeting?
January 2nd.
Okay, at that meeting.
yeah, that's like the only thing on next week's agenda is to do oath of office, that's it. So, that's why I figure families are coming in and stuff.
So when you table this next week, if you already said, hey, we're new.
Table us to January 2nd.
Second, okay.
That's their
So
first
that's-
meeting.
okay, That's okay.
Any other?
Yep, I got it. Thank you.
Okay.
Write me a letter, will you?
Nope, you got it. All in favor for adjourn?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned. Thank you all.
Here's guys that we worked out.
Yeah.
They don't work out.
Once you set